Corners and Wagers Game Week 26. I am Adam Zdroik. Got 4 corners bets in under 4 minutes here. Rotowire.com/soccer. Check out all of our soccer content. FBL differentials are up on the site right now. But let's get into the corner bets. Leicester plus 0.5. Corners in the entire match at minus 110 odds. They're at home against Brentford. I think this is a match where whoever scores first, the other team is going to rack up corners because I don't think either one of these teams has the ability to hold a lead. And I think the thing here is that I think Brentford are more likely to score first than Leicester City are to score first. So let's go Leicester corners in this one. Leicester, half a corner. If you don't want to bet this plus 0.5, you can bet Leicester to have more corners in the entire match and get plus odds. You can do that as well. But I'm taking, in case this is level on corners, I got plus 0.5 corners full time, minus 110 odds. Next one. On Saturday, again, that Leicester City-Brentford match is Friday, so hopefully you're listening to this on Friday. Tottenham, minus 1.5 corners at Ipswich Town. Ipswich Town coming off an okay result. They got a point against Aston Villa. They battled. I guess that's all you can ask from them. That Southampton result is still sticking in my head a little bit. This team is – I almost kind of like them. If you ask me to bet this match 3 weeks ago, I probably wouldn't take this, but Tottenham, they got James Maddison back, they got Brandon Johnson back, so they got some attacking pieces back, and they're pretty healthy here. Outside of Romero, outside of Van de Ven, they're pretty healthy. I think they're starting to come back to a range where they are a team racking up corners, and Ipswich Town is a good team to rack up corners against because just not a great team. I think they're headed for relegation. They haven't really kept their fight throughout the season, which has kind of been a problem, resulting in some unfortunate losses. But Tottenham, minus 1.5 corners, minus 105 odds. Next one, Brighton under 5.5 corners. Speaking of the team, they're playing Southampton. Southampton are battling. I wouldn't say they're good. They're not good, but I'm not sure this Brighton team away from home. I know they got a couple wins here against Chelsea, and I'm just not sure it's going to result in corners in this spot. I don't think Southampton are a team that's going to completely sit in a low block, and we're going to see Brighton 75% possession, just rack up corner after corner. I don't think that's what this team is anymore. Maybe at one point earlier in the season for a few matches, but right now under Hertzler, they haven't really been doing that too often this season. And I think Southampton are going to push them a little bit here, and I think this corner number is too high on Brighton. So let's go under 5.5 corners at plus 110 odds. Of note, like a lot of these I get off DraftKings and FanDuel. This one I had to go to Bet365 and get this one. So Brighton under 5.5 corners plus 110 odds. Finally, the last one. This is a Sunday match, home against Nottingham Forest. Newcastle are, and I'm taking Newcastle minus 2 corners for the match. So if it is a push, you'll get your money back. But instead of Newcastle minus 1.5, which is like minus 135 odds, something like that, instead of taking that, I'm getting the plus odds in this one. And I think this is a game where Newcastle could have, if you want to do a different kind of bet, Newcastle more than, 3 more corners, 4 more corners, 5 more corners. They're at home. Pretty disappointing against Manchester City last week. And maybe, I'm overlooking the fact that, okay, Joelinton was out and they didn't look very good against Man City. Or you can just look at that like, okay, it was at Manchester City and they didn't play well. So let's throw that result out. Nottingham Forest, a team that has struggled against solid teams like Newcastle. I think that matchup was 3-1 earlier in the season. And Newcastle are at home in this one. And Forest are going to sit in the low block and they're going to go on counters. That's basically what they do. So I think this is going to result in Newcastle corners. So Newcastle minus 2 corners for the match. Plus 105 odds. That's all I got. You can find me at RotoZdroik on Twitter. Again, rotowire.com/soccer trial, 48-hour trial to check out all of the content over at RotoWire Soccer.